Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a new session. I hope all of you are doing great. So, we are back with a new net revision session. Are you all ready? Tell me. Are you all ready? Let me open your comment section and see what you all are saying. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. So, how are you all doing? I believe all of you are doing great, yes? I hope all of you are doing just fine. Good evening. So we are back with a new session of revision for NET. Are you all ready? I'm good, Devika. I hope you're doing well as well. Okay. So let's start the session tonight. If you're new to our channel, please do subscribe. And if you're watching this video right now, then please do share. Okay. Don't be stressed. There's nothing to be stressed about. All of you have studied really well and all of you will pass. Don't worry. You are studying the same things again and again. So why are you stressed? So please like the session, okay? And now let's move on to the first question for tonight. Good evening. So it is our session number 29. It is our session number 29. Okay, right. Now let's move on to the first question for tonight. Doubt thou the stars are fire. Doubt that the sun doth move. Doubt truth to be a liar. But never doubt I love. This is a quote from which play of Shakespeare? Tell me. Doubt thou the stars are fire. Doubt the sun doth move. Doubt truth to be a liar. Never doubt I love. This is a quote from which play of Shakespeare? Tell me. This is a quote from which play of Shakespeare? Say. It's talking about love. The speaker is saying, do not doubt my love. You can doubt even the movements of the sun and the moon and the stars, but you cannot doubt my love. This is a quote from Shakespeare's Hamlet. This is a quote from Shakespeare's Hamlet. Okay. Yes. Okay. Next. A Lover's Discourse, Fragments, is a 1977 work by A Lover's Discourse, Fragments, is a 1977 work by whom? Say, very easy. A Lover's Discourse, Fragments. It is by Roland Barthes. It is by Roland Barthes. It is by Roland Barthes. Roland Barthes wrote A Lover's Discourse, Fragments, published in 1977. Clara Okeke is a character from which novel of Chinua Achebe? Clara Okeke is a character from which novel of Chinua Achebe? Clara Okeke is a character from which novel of Chinua Achebe? Say, Clara Okeke is a character from which novel of Chinua Achebe? It is no longer at ease. No longer at ease. Not things fall apart. This character is from no longer at ease. No longer at ease. Please look up the characters, okay? Because such questions can come in the form of match the following and all. And you obviously don't want to lose your marks in such easy questions, right? So please make sure that you know the characters really well. Because obviously, one or two questions can come from the characters, right? So, Clara Okeke is a character from Chinua Achebe, is no longer at ease. No longer at ease. Okay? Great Expectations by Dickens. It's a Bildungsroman and depicts the education of an orphan nicknamed Pip. Great Expectations was published in which year? Dickens's Great Expectations was published in which year? Dickens's Great Expectations was published in which year? 1861. How can you say 1961? Dickens was in the Victorian era. Dickens was a Victorian novelist. He was there during the 19th century. So how can you even say 20th century? Common sense, right? Dickens's Great Expectations was published in 1861. Writing 1961 is a blasphemy. Dickens is such a major Victorian novelist. So Dickens's Great Expectations was published in 1861. Dickens's Great Expectations was published in 1861. 1861. Okay. Right. So before we proceed, let me give you all a reminder that we are starting our new net batch from this coming January. From this coming January. Okay? So if you want, you can join us. If you want, you can join us. Yes, it happened accidentally, and in exams, you can't make such mistakes. Okay? They will try to trick you and all, but you have to stay focused. All right. Dejection and Ode by Coleridge in Dash was published in Dash, and in the same year it was published in the Morning Post, a London daily newspaper. In its original form, this poem was written to Sarah Hutchinson, a woman who was not his wife. She was his love interest. And in this work, the speaker discusses his feelings of love for her. So, yes, Coleridge's Dejection and Ode was published in the year 1802. 1802. Coleridge's Dejection and Ode was published in 1802. It was written for his lady love, Sarah Hutchinson. Sarah Hutchinson. Okay? Dejection and Ode by Coleridge, published in 1802. The Serpent and the Rope is Raja Rao's second novel. It was first published in Dash by John Murray. Written in an autobiographical style, the novel deals with the concepts of existence, reality, and the fulfillment of one's capabilities. Raja Rao's The Serpent and the Rope was published in which year? Raja Rao's The Serpent and the Rope was published in which year? Very easy, tell me. Raja Rao, very famous Indian novelist who wrote works like Kantapura, The Serpent and the Rope, Cat and Shakespeare, The Chess Master and His Moves, Comrade Kilirov. Yes. Raja Rao's The Serpent and the Rope was published in 1960. 1960, correct. Raja Rao's The Serpent and the Rope. Raja Rao's The Serpent and the Rope was published in 1960. 1960. Next. Philosophical Investigations is a work by Dash, published posthumously in 1953. Who wrote this work? Philosophical Investigations. Philosophical Investigations is a work by whom? Tell me. Very popular work. Philosophical Investigations. Philosophical Investigations is by whom? It is by Ludwig Wittgenstein. Ludwig Wittgenstein wrote Philosophical Investigations. Ludwig Wittgenstein wrote Philosophical Investigations. Okay, right. Next. He knows nothing and he thinks he knows everything. That points clearly to a political career. This is a quote from which play of G.B. Shaw? He knows nothing and he thinks he knows everything. That points clearly to a political career. So you see how G.B. Shaw satirizes the politicians, how he mocks the politicians. Yeah, he knows nothing and he thinks he knows everything. That points clearly to a political career. This is a quote from which play of G.B. Shaw? This is a quote from which play of G.B. Shaw? I think you guys have gone crazy before the exam. How is Animal Farm even by G.B. Shaw? Who wrote Animal Farm? Animal Farm is by George Orwell. And the question here is about George Bernard Shaw. This quote is from Major Barbara. Major Barbara. He knows nothing and he thinks he knows everything. That points clearly to a political career. This is a quote from G.B. Shaw's Major Barbara. Major Barbara. Got it? Yeah. The Russian formalists were primarily interested in the way that literary texts achieve their effects and in establishing a scientific basis for the study of literature. True or false? The Russian formalists were primarily interested in the way that literary texts achieve their effects and in establishing a scientific basis for the study of literature. Russian formalists were interested in establishing a scientific basis for the study of literature. True or false? Yes, true. Absolutely true. The General in His Labyrinth is a 1989 dictator novel by Dash. It is a fictionalized account of the last 7 months of Simon Bolivar, liberator and leader of Gran Colombia. Who wrote this novel? The General in His Labyrinth. is a 1989 dictator novel by whom? This novel is a fictionalized account of the last 7 months of Simon Bolivar, liberator and leader of Gran Colombia. Yes, The General in His Labyrinth. It's a novel by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Yes, published in 1989. Correct. The Philosophy of Furniture is an essay by whom? Published in 1840. Who wrote the essay, The Philosophy of Furniture? It's a very popular essay. Tell me, who wrote the essay, The Philosophy of Furniture? The Philosophy of Furniture is an essay by whom? You know this writer. He was a famous short story writer, essayist, father of modern short story. It is by Edgar Allan Poe. The Philosophy of Furniture is an essay by Edgar Allan Poe. The Philosophy of Furniture is by Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe, the father of modern short story. So, which are some of the famous essays by Edgar Allan Poe? He wrote The Philosophy of Composition, The Poetic Principle, The Philosophy of Furniture, The Philosophy of Furniture, The Philosophy of Composition, The Poetic Principle. These are some of the famous essays by Edgar Allan Poe. Got it? The Dreams of Tipu Sultan is a 1997 Kannada play by Dash. This play has been performed many times by different groups around the world, but mostly in India and Pakistan. And this play follows the last days as well as the historic moments in the life of Tipu Sultan, the ruler of the kingdom of Mysore, through the eyes of an Indian court historian and a British Oriental scholar. Who wrote this play, The Dreams of Tipu Sultan? It's a 1997 Kannada play. Yes, it is by Girish Karnad. The Dreams of Tipu Sultan is by Girish Karnad. It is by Girish Karnad. Macbeth. Macbeth by Dash is an absurdist parody of Shakespeare's Macbeth, stripping the tragic tale of heroism to expose the banal, cyclical, and morally hollow nature of power, where everyone from the supposedly loyal Macbeth to the weak Duncan is driven by a petty, uncontrollable will to power, leading to a farcical yet dark exploitation of ambition, betrayal, and meaningless violence in politics. So, who wrote this work? Who wrote this play? Macbeth. It is based on Shakespeare's Macbeth. It is by Eugene Ionesco. So, Macbeth by Eugene Ionesco is an absurdist parody of Shakespeare's Macbeth. Yes, it is by Eugene Ionesco. Macbeth by Eugene Ionesco. It's an absurdist parody of Shakespeare's Macbeth. Okay, right. Next. Alternative Shakespeare series, known for its post structuralist, new historicist takes, was edited by John Drekakis. True or false? The series of alternative Shakespeares was edited by John Drekakis. True or false? The series of alternative Shakespeares It's a collection of essays and all. It was edited by John Drekakis. True or false? Obviously, very true. John Drekakis edited the collection of essays called Alternative Shakespeares. It is very important, widely prescribed. Very important, widely prescribed. Alternative Shakespeares by John Drekakis. All right. So that's all from our side for tonight. I hope you guys loved the session. I hope you enjoyed answering these questions. And I will be back again tomorrow at 9 p.m. at our Vallath YouTube channel. And we are starting our new NET online batch from this coming January. So you can join us. All right. So till then, please take care. Keep ample take care of yourself. Yes. Take ample care of yourself and keep studying. All right. Yes. Please take ample care of yourself. Don't get sick or don't get down with fever at the last moment before your exam, because just after a few days, all of you have your NET exam and all. So don't get sick at this time. So keep healthy and keep studying. All right. See you all again tomorrow. Bye. Take care and